Hey folks, it's Yojimin here. It's been a while since our last update, so I'm very excited to announce the latest version of Open X-Ray Gunslinger is now on ModDB, including fixed icons. Now, you might be wondering, Yojimin, what took so long? Well, with this new update, instead of fixing the major issue with icons by directly adapting the original Gunslinger mod's Pascal source code, I wanted to go about it in a new way that could potentially change the face of stalker modding forever. Before you can understand why this new feature is such a game changer, I have to give some context. The latest version of Gunslinger broke compatibility with Open X-Ray Gunslinger because it came with an updated texture atlas. Texture atlases are a performance-saving measure used in many games, where small parts of the UI are stored in a larger texture. This way, instead of loading a separate texture per UI element, you can just load one large texture and reference smaller areas of it to render your desired UI elements. While this method saves a lot of performance, the trade-off is that each icon must be created from scratch, and then you have to configure its position in the atlas, as well as its width and height. Then, let's say if you throw in extra logic to combine different icons together and line them up correctly with each other, you can see how it's a pain to maintain. I wondered what it would look like if I dynamically generated these icons from the world models of items. I found out from my wonderful teammate Lucy that another fork had already tried to do the same thing, so we had a starting point at least. However, there were some issues with their code from the get-go. Firstly, the icons were not rendered orthographically, which is not correct. Secondly, they only render items that are currently on the screen directly. And last but not least, this method destroys performance because every item is being rendered every single frame. To cleanly be able to integrate into the game's UI logic, we need to store all this data onto a render target, which we can then use as a texture. So I started trying to get things to render to a render target, which was slow at first, but eventually I got it. Then I started looking at rendering things with an orthographic projection, which was a lot more difficult for me. But I finally found a helpful Stack Overflow article and got something working. I also implemented a best fit algorithm to sort the items into a grid. Now that we're managing our own grid, it's easy to override the original game logic for icon grids. Cool, now we have icons that require basically no configuration from the modder. But why stop there? If we cache the icon onto the texture and stop rendering the model once we've already rendered it, then we can render as many 3D icons as we want without any performance impact. We can even flex a little and show off how dynamic it is by animating individual icons or even drawing outlines around them with a special shader. Even after all that, I still wasn't satisfied, so I implemented an interactive upgrade window. Here, users can inspect their weapons and check out their flashy new attachments in higher fidelity than ever before. Overall, I'm super happy with this approach for the icons, because now not only are we compatible with the latest Gunslinger update, new items are going to be much easier for modders to add. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. And if you really enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps my channel grow. I put a lot of time into maintaining this project, adding new features, and creating these videos, so if you want to support me extra, you can find a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. You can also consider donating to the original Open X-Ray team. Without their work, none of this would be possible. And finally, thank you to all of my supporters and sponsors. I really appreciate you all. Alright, that's it. Bye!